I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about veganism and animals, and I guess the suffering that is going on currently that we all should at least know about if you aren't going to change your own habits. I think it's just a good thing to know what you're buying when you're in the grocery store. I think the easiest way to help everyone out there who is kind of set themselves aside from these animals is to think about pets. So most of us, I would say, either had a pet when we were younger or currently have pets, dogs, cats, any other animal, and you know when they're in pain. You can tell. It's pretty obvious. I don't think anyone would argue with the fact that their pet experiences pain. And so there's been a lot of protests. For example, in China they eat dogs, and that's totally normal in their culture, but a lot of people think that's not okay. Then how can we justify killing cows, chickens, turkeys, all these pigs, all these different animals that we kill without even thinking about it, and yet somehow in another country where they eat a different animal, that's wrong? And so I just feel like I want to talk more about it, but I don't really know how to. So I just kind of mention it in different videos and kind of bring up the topic, but I never really fully share how I feel, I guess. Animals can't communicate to us through words. They communicate how they feel to us through noises, through emotion in their faces. And if we don't need to eat animals and it's obviously hurting them, why do we keep doing it? I think it really comes down to the fact that people aren't informed of how truly horrible the agriculture industry is. It's not all, you know, happy cows grazing in the field and then one day they get butchered, and you know, there's a level of appreciation there that the person killing the animal has for the animal, or just a general level of respect. That's not how it happens. There's free range chickens that literally could have a 1 foot by 1 foot square of open space to the outside with, you know, 3,000 birds inside, and that can be called free range because they have the legal little patch of green space that they could go to if any of them could ever even get to, because with, you know, thousands of chickens in a small area, what's the chance that they will ever get a chance to go out and see the sun or be even outside? I mean, who knows, maybe it's just dirt and like a cage with an open ceiling roof thing for them. But it's really, really horrible what these animals go through, and I know I would never want my money going to support a industry that I feel like is completely corrupt and money driven and has so little respect for these animals. Not to mention, there has been so many cases of workers at slaughterhouses who end up committing suicide because it is so, you can't keep watching or doing that and hearing the screams and seeing things that you don't want to see. You can't keep doing that to yourself and think it's okay. Same with veterinarians. They have a very high suicide rate as well. Why? Because it's hard. It's hard to actually kill another being when they're right in front of you. We have distanced ourselves so much from the reality of what goes on. Female cows, they have a short window of 3 years that they live, and they are, in order to produce milk constantly, they're constantly pregnant, and less than 45 hours after they give birth, they're impregnated again. And they live for 3 years. You realize how stressful that must be on their bodies, first of all, and how cruel, because the babies are just taken away. It's just impossible to not feel compassion for these beings that are in an extreme amount of pain for our own pleasure, because we like the taste of meat, because we think we need meat to live. I mean, whatever your reason for eating it, maybe you know everything I'm saying, and you know they're suffering, and you know they're in pain, but you feel like it's the right thing to do, and they're here for you to eat. I can't convince you, basically. All I have to say, though, to those of you out there who didn't know about what's going on and would like to learn more, I have resources in the description box below that you can check out. And if anything, I would just say educate yourself, because the worst kinds of decisions and choices we make are the ones that are unconscious, that we don't even know the effect they're having on other humans, other animals, other beings, the effect it's having on the world. They really, really need our help. We can't just keep sitting around and not doing anything anymore. We have to actually speak up and represent them and be the words that they can't say, because they can't communicate like that. And just because they can't communicate with words doesn't mean they're any less of a being or worthy of living than us. I know a lot of you aren't here on my channel because of my interest in veganism, so please be kind in the comments. And yes, of course, I'd be happy to hear what you guys have to say. I just don't like anyone suffering, no matter who or what they are. I have a lot of compassion and love for other beings, and growing up with so many cats definitely contributed to my love of animals, that's for sure. I will see you in the next video. If you have any questions, leave them below.